as an evaluator throughout this session. We had the executive function performance test. The purpose of the EFPT assessment is to evaluate an individual's ability to perform 4 instrumental activities of daily living, or IADLs. The tasks include cooking, the ability to use a telephone, managing medication, and the ability to pay bills. The assessment examines how independently an individual can complete all these tasks, and they are designed to be completed in a realistic setting with accurate tools to encourage the transfer of skills to daily life. The time required to administer is 30 to 45 minutes. The results of the assessment indicate if someone has deficits in executive functioning skills, including initiation, organization, sequencing, safety, judgment, and task completion. The results of this assessment also indicate how independent an individual is and how much assistance the individual will require to complete tasks.
Hi, I'm Jeff and I'm the patient. I'm a 66-year-old male who recently received orders to begin home health occupational therapy services following a left CVA that occurred 6 weeks ago. At the time of the event, according to my wife, I was sitting in the living room watching television when I suddenly dropped the remote control and was unable to move my right arm. Within minutes, she noticed that I was unable to bear weight on my right leg when attempting to stand. My speech became slurred and incoherent, and I appeared confused and increasingly frustrated when trying to respond to her questions. Recognizing the sudden onset of stroke-like symptoms, she immediately called emergency medical services. I have now been discharged home with physician orders for home health services, including skilled nursing and occupational therapy. I am considered medically stable, but continue to demonstrate functional deficits that limit my independence and safety within the home environment. Based on observation within the home, I demonstrate difficulty initiating and completing familiar tasks. My wife conveys that during meal preparation, I require verbal cues to begin, gather incorrect items, and perform steps out of order. I have let the refrigerator door open and once left the stove burner on, indicating reduced safety awareness. I am easily distracted, abandon tasks midway, and limit insight into my errors. Prior to the stroke, I was fully independent in all activities of daily living and instrumental activities of daily living. I was active in home maintenance, yard work, driving, cooking, and socializing. I live with my wife in a single-story home with 2 steps at the entrance.
Hi everyone, I'm Erin, and today I'll be an OT, so I will be an evaluator. Based on the case study, the EFPT is appropriate for Jeff because he demonstrates clear performance-based deficits in executive functioning following his left CVA. He shows difficulty with initiation, organization, sequencing, task initiation, task completion, and safety awareness during familiar IADLs, such as meal preparation. The EFPT assesses the executive functioning through observation of real-world tasks and measures the level of cueing that is required for safe and independent performance. Using the EFPT will help determine the extent of Jeff's executive function, guide intervention planning, and support the need for skilled occupational therapy services in the home setting. So first off, we will start with the pre-test questions to determine what he will be doing during this assessment, or what he'll be able to do safely and efficiently. And then for time's sake, we will complete the cooking task and the telephone use task, and we will explain the other 2 tasks to you all and how to score those.
So this is the EFPT manual. It starts with just the cover page and talking a little bit about it, and it goes on for a few pages, and then it shows you how to score, explains some questions, the testing items that you need, a pre-test checklist to make sure that you have everything, directions, and then the script where you begin the test. Today I will be asking you to make some oatmeal, use the telephone, take some fake medication, and pay some fake bills. You may not be doing these tasks at home, but they have been selected for this test as representing those most like daily tasks. If you need help at any point, let me know. This is an assessment and I will respond to questions that you ask me, but I will not have a conversation during the test. I wanted to let you know so you would not think I was not friendly. All of the items you need to do these tasks are here in this box. I want to do a few things before you begin the test, so I'm going to ask you a few questions. Please answer them as best as you can. This card should guide your responses. Okay, so now we're going to begin with the first question. Do you cook?
Yes.
Do you use the stove to cook meals? Have you recently made oatmeal on the stove?
No.
Do you use the phone on a regular basis?
Yeah, I think so.
How many times a week do you use the phone?
Probably every day. Should I just put 7?
What is the phone number you call in an emergency?
911. Should I just put that?
Yes.
Okay.
Will you be able to make a phone call?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you take medication?
Yes.
Can you tell me where you keep your medication?
Yes.
Where do you take your medicine?
Morning. In the evening.
Will you be able to take the medication?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you pay your bills?
Yes.
Does someone help you with your bills?
No.
Have you ever used a checkbook?
Yeah.
Do you know how to use a checkbook?
Yes.
Will you be able to pay the bills?
I hope so.
Okay, and that concludes our pre-question test. So now we're going to go over to the stove and we're going to do a simple cooking task.
So to start this task, I'm going to read a script from here, and then he has directions that I'll give him, and then there is a cue card, and this is the verbal cues and physical assistance cues that you may use during the task, and that is how you score it, and we'll show you that later. Okay, Jeff. So I want you to make some oatmeal. The instructions are on the oatmeal box, but here's an enlarged version of the instructions if you need them. Okay, so please read the instructions to me so that I know that you understand what it is that you are to do.
Boil 1 cup water and a dash of salt. Stir in ½ cup oats. Cook about 5 minutes over medium heat. Stir occasionally.
Great. Okay. So you're going to follow these directions, and when you're done, put the oatmeal in a bowl. The items that you need are in the box, and you already got some out, which is great. Do you need anything else?
I think that should be good.
Okay. Can you look in this container?
Oh boy, let's see. I think I got it all.
Okay. So I think in order to measure the water and the
that's
oats,
right.
you might need a measuring cup.
Okay,
Okay.
that's right. So boil 1 cup water.
Mm-hmm.
Put some salt. So we gotta go to the sink first. One cup, right? That's one?
So you'll want to fill water to this line.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I gotta boil it.
Mm-hmm. Is the burner set to where you want it to boil?
I want it on high.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Those oats on the counter, those can be for my dog.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect.
Stir. Should I use my right hand?
You can use whatever feels comfortable for you. What did you do before?
I use my right hand, but my OT before you said I should probably use this still.
Yeah, try to use what's natural to you.
Okay. And then got this timer for 5 minutes.
Great.
Okay.
And when we are cooking, we want to make sure that nothing is near the hot burner. So I think maybe we should move some things out of the way.
Oh yeah, I can feel it getting warm on the side there.
Right?
Now we wait.
Now we wait.
Okay. All right, I think they're done.
Yeah, it looks ready. Oh wait, stop. We don't want to put the hot on the counter.
Oh,
it
that's
might melt the counter.
That's right.
I have the spot holder for you.
Okay. Put
Okay.
that on there.
Yep. Great.
Dish up.
Yeah. What are we gonna use to put it?
Bowl here.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Try to do it with your right hand. See how that feels. Great.
That should be good for now.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, let's eat.
Okay. Is there anything else you need to do before you leave the area?
Get a spoon.
Mhm.
That's right.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Is there
Good.
anything else that you can see that you need to do?
No? The stove. That's
Mhm.
right. My wife gets after me on that.
Mhm.
Turn
It'd be
that off.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Catch the house on fire.
That's right. Can I
All
eat
right.
these now?
Yeah, bon appetit.
All right.
I want you to look up the local grocery store in the phone book. Telephone them and ask them if they deliver groceries. Let me know what you find out. The items you need are in the box. I see you already have a few out. Put the phone on speakerphone so that you can hear that the number has been dialed if you need to cue them.
There's no numbers on here.
Well, is there anything else that you need?
I guess so. Oh, the phone book. That's right. That's right. All right. I'll call Aldi. That's where I usually go. I used to go to Kroger, but they don't got good deals anymore. They don't like my coupons. So I just can't stand them no more.
That's okay.
Okay, there we go. Oh, I can hold that right there. I've been writing with my left hand recently. I got a bum right. 4, 7, 3, 3, 8, 5, 3. Well, that didn't work.
Well, did you dial 9 first?
Oh, no, okay. 9 804 517 5253. Speaker.
Hello. Is this Aldi?
Yes. How can we help you?
Y'all deliver groceries?
Yeah, we can do that. What is your address?
123 Kenwood Avenue.
Okay, I'll go ahead and write that down for you, and we'll have somebody call you back. Do you want to place an order online, or do you want to place it over the phone?
I'm actually not hungry, but y'all are way better than Kroger. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So in order to score the client, we would use the cue sheet that was given, and we would circle any of the cues that we used during the session and use those cues to mark on the score sheet. So we can't write in the score sheet, and there were no copies, but it has initiation, execution, organization, sequencing, judgment and safety, and completion of the task. The first category here is independent. Second category is verbal guidance, gestural guidance, verbal direct instruction, physical assistance, and doing it for the participant. The cue sheet lines up, if you use this cue, what category that falls in. And in order to score, you put a check mark in each of the categories. So starting with initiation, upon your request to start, the participant moves to the table to gather tools and materials, which the client did, so we put an X there, and that is the main thing that happened during this session. That's the most amount of X right here. So he was most definitely independent. Moving down to organization, the arrangement of the tools, we did have a cue where we had to ask him, do you need anything else? So we put an X here, and that is what happened the most during the execution in the organization. So that is scored as a 1 because it is under verbal guidance. You then move on to sequencing, executing steps in the appropriate order. So we did have to give verbal guidance, and we also had to give physical assistance based on that cue sheet, but we gave them, the majority was physical assistance. So that trumps anything else, and you circle or bold what happened the most, and the physical assistance counts as a 4. So for this category, his total score was 4. Moving on to judgment and safety, avoidance of dangerous situation. We gave quite a few cues here, verbal guidance, gestural guidance, verbal direct, and physical assistance, but he needed the most, out of all of these, he needed physical assistance the most. So that is bolded or circled, scoring as a 4. And then down here, completing the task, he completed that independently, putting the oatmeal in a bowl, so that happened the most, independent, so that score is 0. His total score was a 9. It is listed that there are no normative score values for this test, so you have to use clinical judgment, and based on our clinical judgment, he scored a total of 9, where typically without stroke, people score a 1.23 in the cooking category, so he would be deemed as unsafe based solely on, not solely, but mostly on sequencing and judgment and safety during this task.
So for the telephone use, when we interpreted the scores from this sheet over to the actual score sheet, he would have scored a 2 in organizing and then a 3 in sequencing, leading to a total score of 5, which puts him in between a mild and moderate stroke, but closer to the moderate side. And it also shows that he may have some deficits in organizing and sequencing, making it difficult for him to use the telephone.
So there's 2 more parts to this assessment. This one is taking medication, and it's the same as the other 2, where you have a script and you just ask them to take their medication. It has an item list as well, and then it also has the cueing score sheet, and you add up the scores the same way. And then the last subtest is paying bills. Once again, you read off of a script, you have some items that they need to collect, and then you cue them to pay their bills, and you can cue them and you can score them with this sheet right here. And finally, you add up all the scores, and you can then assess their stroke deficits. Okay, and then lastly, you can add up all their scores and assess their stroke deficits. That is our presentation. Thank you. Bye.